Well, Hazbin Hotel Season 2 has wrapped up, and I'm gonna say what we're all thinking here. This season was hot garbage. Season 1 was way better. I will have a whole review out in due time. I have a lot to say. But today I wanted to go over the many ways Vox actually could have been defeated, since as we all know, the only reason we're all gaslighted into thinking he's a real threat and a menacing villain came at the sacrifice of the main character's intelligence. Basically, Viv had to lobotomize her whole main cast to make Vox even remotely succeed. Charlie could have easily stopped Vox at any point in time she wanted to, point blank. Instead, she decides to hyperfixate on what Vox's slander is saying about her against the hotel, rather than focusing on, rehabilitating sinners, the whole freaking premise of the show. However, when Vox became a real threat by, kidnapping your own father, blasting a hole through heaven, and blasting all of Pentagram City with his piss laser, she just decides to do absolutely nothing, just sitting idly by while Vox points an entire laser at her face, and it took the rapist Valentino and Velvet to put a stop to him, doing it rather easily. So for those of you who are going to go argue that Charlie wasn't strong enough to beat Vox, or that she's too lighthearted to bring violence to him, I call bullshit, since this is the same person who murdered angels, stabbed Adam turning him into a shish kebab, as well as recruiting the cannibals to fight alongside the hotel during the extermination. So I think by the point where Vox is a fucking laser and he's lasering sinners with a cannon powered by her kidnapped father who's being tortured in the process, I think is an even better reason to resort to violence than during the extermination itself. Also, don't give me that excuse that Charlie can't harm sinners like her father can't. There's nothing in the show that contradicts that. As well, if that was the case, the show could have easily communicated that to the audience, which at the very least it would make Charlie sitting there crying like a little bitch while Emily gets tied to a chair way more acceptable, since there at least would be some kind of explanation put in there. I mean, not a great one, a pretty lazy one, but at least one nonetheless. Seriously, Charlie refuses to use her own demon form or anything to fight this TV-headed insecure loser. Stealing the weapon. The angels or anyone in heaven could have easily stolen Vox's super weapon. Don't say that they couldn't have known about it, since they could have easily have used the crystal ball to watch what they were doing, especially after he declared war on them. Open the portal underneath the cannon, take it, and destroy it back in heaven. Done. It's super effective, since Sarah was hesitant about sending the exorcist down there to kill him, since it would potentially raise tensions between the two realms, even more so, and make heaven look like the bad guys, again, because they kind of were last season. However, no one ever thinks to watch Vox at all, and they all seem to just completely be surprised when he blasts the shield right off. And even then, they still don't do anything, and they don't go down there with a portal and take the cannon from him. It avoids violent conflict, and it disarms him. Seriously, this is such an easy solution, but no one ever decides to think of this. But no, we have to sacrifice the character's intelligence for this plot point to move forward. Lucifer calling up the boys. Now what do I mean by this? Well, as we all know, Lucifer can't harm sinners as punishment. Bullshit. Whether he can't physically harm them or not, he's allowed to, I don't know. He just physically can't, as far as we know. We're not exactly sure. It is part of his punishment, but whether he can't physically harm them or he's just not supposed to is unclear. However, irregardless, why couldn't Sarah or whoever was in charge of this punishment on him lift it temporarily so Lucifer can Incredible Hulk Vox's ass? But apparently the angels who punished him are petty assholes, since they are seemingly ready to let Vox get closer to attacking heaven than just letting the king of hell himself do his job. However, since Lucifer can't harm them, why couldn't he just call the other 6, deadly sins? Since I will tell you right now, any of these 7 deadly sins are all more than capable of beating the ever-loving shit out of Vox. Any one of them can put him in the intensive care unit, for crying out loud. They can put this man on a fucking ventilator if they wanted to. Lucifer could have called up Beelzebub, for example, and let her go to absolute town on his ass. Boom, problem solved. And I don't want to hear that, well, Lucifer has been ignoring the sins for a while and they wouldn't want to help. First off, the sins sent him gifts, so they clearly still respect or at least miss him to a degree. As well as I think Lucifer tells them, hey, yeah, a sinner is rising in power and he's planning to conquer both heaven and hell and put us into a whole freaking, dictatorship, and I can't touch the guy, so can you please take care of him? Thank you. Hell, I'm sure at least Mammon wouldn't even mind coming up to the Pride Ring and beating the shit out of Vox. I understand the meta reason, since Helva Boss hadn't struck up the deal with Prime Video actually at this time when Season 2 was being written. However, I'm discussing this within the confines of the story, not the meta reasoning. I don't care about that. I'm talking within the story itself. Show Serpentius in hell. One big plot point in the finale was the fact that they needed to have proof that Serpentius was redeemed or whatever and that the hotel works. However, the cast comes up with the most contrived, complicated plan ever, deciding to break into the V Tower and reroute Heaven's signal down to hell to broadcast, Pentius' redemption or whatever. However, there is so many things wrong with this. How was Vox able to broadcast to heaven but not the other way around? As well, even if they couldn't broadcast down to hell because of the plot convenience, why not use the hologram tech Adam used to project himself in season 1? Did Viv just hope we forgot about this or something? She literally introduced it last season. Does she have short-term memory loss or something? Did she forget? Seriously, if someone pointed this out to her during an interview, I can guarantee you she'd shit herself right there. Additionally, why can't they just open a portal under his ass and let... Additionally, why couldn't they just open a portal and let Pentius walk through it and return to hell briefly to show everyone that he's redeemed? Don't give me the, well, maybe Pentius or Winners can't return to hell or the other dimension through a portal. Okay, then why didn't they just say that in the episode? They don't even suggest the idea. It's just kind of fucking ignored the whole time. It would have easily been the easiest solution and best way to prove the hotel works and prove Vox is a fucking liar and he's full of shit. But again, the character's IQs are sacrificed so the stakes remain high. Sure, Emily tells Pentius earlier on in the season that he's stuck in heaven forever and can't return, but they never really explain why or how. This is just the writers putting little to no thought and hoping we just kind of forget about it so they can easily make us think that the stakes are there, which they really aren't, when the stakes and tension are 100% artificial. Or better yet, why couldn't they just record a video of Pentius in heaven and then, go back down to hell and show the video? Oh, what, writers? You seriously expect me to believe that heaven of all places doesn't have something as simple as a video camera or a phone of some sort? This is the same realm that's supposed to be paradise, for crying out loud. Hell, pun not intended. We saw in season 1, Alistair can conjure up a video camera from thin air, so they could have just gone to him. Even though he was tied up at the time, I'm sure he could very easily make a simple video camera again, right? Or just, hell, maybe use the one he conjured up in season 1. It's gotta be laying around there somewhere. I'm having a meltdown over this because there's so many methods to put a wrench in Vox's plans by proving Serpentius was redeemed alone. This is the last one. This one's kind of a joke. Well, it would work, obviously, but it's just for fun here. They could just jump his ass. Okay, so let's suspend disbelief and say characters like Charlie can defeat Vox. Bullshit. Somehow. And then I am almost certain if Emily, Vaggie, and Charlie could have all ganged up on Vox and beat his ass, like they owed him money or something. Especially when the guy was incinerating other sinners with the cannon and has officially reached violence as the solution of a threat level. Or maybe even at that point in time, everyone saw through Vox's bullshit. Sarah could have just calmed down there and just de-atomized the fucker. Since at the point in time, hell was all turned against Vox anyway. So it would have made all the angels seem like the heroes in that regard. Or hell, just have freaking Abel send his army and go murk them. I don't know. Overall, even if Vox was somehow able to kill everyone there in hell with the cannon, which maybe, the minute he tries to do anything with heaven, Sarah would easily humble this dude, no sweat. Sure, Lucifer's powered cannon is strong, but I firmly believe that Sarah is stronger and she can very easily open up a portal behind him and get the jump on his ass, even if she couldn't beat the cannon itself. I never felt Vox was a true threat at all, since he was artificially made into a threat because Viv and the writers knew damn well that they had to perform character intelligence assassinations and mental gymnastics to make this work. They made our heroes dumber to make the villain a threat. Vox remained the same, while our heroes were just given stupid juice and they drank up and got dumb. Hope you guys enjoyed this rant video. I don't do rants that much, but Jesus Christ, this season was a train wreck. Be sure to subscribe for more Helliverse and animation review content. I have a Discord server linked in the description. I would join it if you want to continue discussions like these. This is Axel signing off. I'm gonna go take a chill pill because this was bullshit. You guys have a good night.